Nothing transforms a garden quite like dahlias, those stunning, jewel-toned flowers with their dazzling symmetry and lush, vivid colors. These beauties, however, need special care, especially in colder climates where winter can be rough. Dahlias are often one of the last flowers blooming in late summer, but as temperatures drop, they need our attention to ensure they can come back strong next year. Let's dive into everything you need to know about digging up and storing dahlia tubers before winter hits. The first step is to observe the foliage. As the weather cools, dahlias will naturally die back, with leaves turning yellow or even black from frost. That's our signal, it's time to start digging. We'll need a few essential tools: a digging fork, gardening gloves, and a clean, sharp pair of pruners. First, gently cut back the foliage, leaving about 4 to 6 inches of stem above ground. This helps us see where the tubers are and provides a bit of a handle to grab onto when lifting the tubers out of the soil. When using the digging fork, give a wide berth around the base of the plant. Dahlias have delicate tubers, and any punctures can lead to rot during storage. Gently push the fork into the ground about a foot away from the stem, working your way around the entire plant. The soil will gradually loosen, allowing us to ease the tubers out without damaging them. Once the clump is free, lift it up, taking a moment to admire the beautiful web of tubers, which now hold the potential for next season's flowers. Now, cleaning the tubers is crucial. Remove excess soil, but do this carefully. You want to avoid scrubbing or washing them, as introducing too much moisture can make the tubers susceptible to rot. Instead, use a soft brush to gently dust away the dirt. Some gardeners like to divide the clumps right away, but if you're new to dahlia care, you can leave them intact for now and divide them in spring when new growth makes it easier to identify healthy tubers. Once the tubers are clean, let them dry for a day or two in a cool, shady area with good airflow. For storing dahlias, a few options are popular: peat moss, vermiculite, or sawdust. Choose a medium that will provide just the right amount of moisture balance. Place the tubers in a cardboard box, layer them with your chosen medium, and store them in a cool, dark location with temperatures around 40–50 degrees Fahrenheit. A basement or an unheated garage works well in most cases. Check them occasionally over the winter, ensuring they're not shriveling or getting moldy. With proper storage, these tubers will be ready for planting in spring, offering a fantastic burst of color once again. Moving over to the Statice, this vibrant and long-lasting flower is perfect for fresh arrangements and even better when dried for winter decor. Statice has a charming quality with its papery, crinkled blooms that look stunning even when preserved. When it comes to harvesting, timing is everything. Pick Statice when most of the flowers on the stem are open. If harvested too soon, the flowers may not dry well, losing their structure or color. Using a pair of sharp snips, cut the stems in the early morning or late afternoon when the plants are most hydrated. Choose the longest, most robust stems for drying since they're easier to work with and make for more impressive displays. After cutting, strip the lower leaves from each stem to prepare them for drying. Gather the stems in small bunches and tie them with a rubber band or garden twine, leaving a bit of space between each stem to ensure good airflow. Hang these bunches upside down in a warm, dry area with good ventilation, out of direct sunlight. Within a few weeks, your Statice will dry beautifully, retaining that rich color and shape that make it such a favorite in dried flower arrangements. Finally, we come to the Acorn squash, a fall classic that brings a wealth of flavor and nutrition to the kitchen. Acorn squash is ready to harvest when its skin turns deep green, with a little bit of orange developing around the base. The skin should feel tough and hard. If you can puncture it with your fingernail, it's not quite ready. Harvesting too early means the squash won't develop its full flavor, so timing is key. With a sharp knife or pruning shears, cut the squash from the vine, leaving about 2 inches of stem attached. This stem helps prevent rot during storage and adds to the squash's curb appeal, if you plan to display it as a seasonal decoration. After harvesting, give each squash a quick wipe to remove any dirt, then allow him to cure in a warm, dry location for about 10 days. Curing helps toughen the skin even more, improving both flavor and storage potential. Properly cured acorn squash can last for months in a cool, dry place, perfect for those cold winter evenings when you're craving a hearty, comforting dish. Once everything is harvested and prepped for winter, take a moment to walk around your garden and reflect on the season's growth. Each plant has a unique journey, and seeing their cycles come full circle is a beautiful reminder of nature's rhythms. Whether it's the vibrant dahlias that will rest and revive for another season, the statice that will bring color into the darker months, or the nourishing squash that will make its way to our tables, every part of this garden has contributed something special. Absolutely. Let's continue the script by diving deeper into the specifics of each gardening task, focusing on nuanced techniques, potential challenges, and tips for optimal results. As we think about next spring, let's go back to our dahlias and explore the nuances of dahlia care. While we've covered the basics, the art of growing dahlias lies in their storage and preparation for replanting. If you're in a region with mild winters, you might get away with leaving them in the ground, but where frost is a certainty, storage is non-negotiable. One trick to remember for storage is to maintain just the right humidity level. Tubers need a bit of moisture, but too much, and they risk rotting. If you find them drying out over winter, you can mist the storage medium lightly every month or so. But be careful, a light mist is all it takes. Too much can cause mildew or mold. When it comes to dividing dahlia tubers in spring, patience and a bit of practice go a long way. Dividing encourages healthier plants and more abundant blooms. Start by inspecting each clump of tubers and look for eyes, small, visible bumps on the necks of the tubers that are the start of new growth. Using a sharp, clean knife, carefully separate each tuber, making sure each section has at least one eye. Tubers without eyes won't produce new plants, so it's essential to get the division right. Once divided, dust each cut area lightly with sulfur powder to prevent fungal infections, which can be a real issue in damp spring soil. Absolutely. Let's continue the script by diving deeper into the specifics of each gardening task, focusing on nuanced techniques, potential challenges, and tips for optimal results. As we think about next spring, let's go back to our dahlias and explore the nuances of dahlia care. While we've covered the basics, the art of growing dahlias lies in their storage and preparation for replanting. If you're in a region with mild winters, you might get away with leaving them in the ground, but where frost is a certainty, storage is non-negotiable. One trick to remember for storage is to maintain just the right humidity level. Tubers need a bit of moisture, but too much, and they risk rotting. If you find them drying out over winter, you can mist the storage medium lightly every month or so. But be careful, a light mist is all it takes. Too much can cause mildew or mold. When it comes to dividing dahlia tubers in spring, patience and a bit of practice go a long way. Dividing encourages healthier plants and more abundant blooms. Gardening is about more than just planting and harvesting. It's a journey through the seasons, with each cycle offering us something new to learn. For now, as we close out the growing season, remember that these last steps are just as important as the first. Taking the time to properly dig, clean, and store our dahlias, drying our statice, and curing our squash ensures that we preserve the rewards of our hard work and set the stage for another successful year in the garden. From the deep satisfaction of working with the soil to the anticipation of seeing new growth next spring, gardening keeps us connected to the land and the life it sustains. And as we put our gardens to rest for winter, we also cultivate a sense of patience, knowing that all we've planted and cared for will come back even stronger next year.